Obsidian Ant investing a lot more time in Star Citizen based content, and it's no doubt as to why. Because Elite Dangerous is going down the tubes. But, you know, Obsidian Ant, you know, it's nice to see his content starting to you know, get broader. We're trying to do the same thing here on the channel as well. But he's saying best space game ever, Star Citizen. So, and he's got a question mark. So let's see what he has to say about that. I'm very curious.
Game ever made? Well, the title certainly has enough headlines and enough funding, but can that really signify quality? In this video series then, I explore potential candidates for the best space game ever. The question, does Star Citizen qualify? Also, I'd like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. More about them at the end of the video. So, to see whether or not a game qualifies, there are 5 separate checkpoints. The game needs to pass more than half of these to be viewed as a potential candidate. Keep in mind this isn't a full review. A full review may come later if the game passes. Additionally, I fully realise Star Citizen is in a somewhat unique position due to its alpha state. Ultimately though, it's not the only space game in early access, hence it still gets included. Now, Star Citizen's game world is easily among its best assets. Not only is it beautiful to look at, but it's extremely detailed. This level of detail and this level of beauty works on the macro level. Just look at the cities, right down to the micro level. Just look at the individual blades of grass and individual flowers. So this really is a technical achievement that no other space game can rival. In terms of scope, there's perhaps 2 other examples, No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous. Whilst these other 2 titles are easily much bigger than Star Citizen, they lack the visual details, the visual quality that this game delivers. So for me, this makes Star Citizen the go-to game for space exploration. Now there is a level of irony here. After all, the title doesn't have any dedicated exploration gameplay mechanics. So this, perhaps more than anything else, is a testament to the quality of the worlds and the environments. Whether you simply want to wander around the interior...
Did he say there's no gameplay mechanics? What?
...of ships, the lengths of city streets, or the vast open vistas of planets, there's no other space game out there that can hope to rival this particular aspect of Star Citizen. And what that means is, even in its alpha state, Star Citizen's game world is unrivaled amongst the space game genre.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this level of detail and quality does not extend to gameplay. Naturally, not everyone is going to be happy about that statement, but it's pretty true nonetheless. In my opinion, how you feel about that situation will depend upon how
Devin,
you play
my son
Star
texted
Citizen.
me, so I must have missed that part.
If you're into heavy multiplayer, then
I was distracted.
you're likely going to find a lot of gameplay. There's some emergent gameplay
My
there.
son's busy getting in trouble at school right now.
A neat little sandbox. But this isn't just an idle claim. If you take a quick search of YouTube, you'll find many examples of multiplayer activity within Star Citizen. Of course, this isn't the style of multiplayer gameplay you'll find in the likes of Call of Duty or Arma or anything like that.
Right.
But rather, it's something that's unique to Star Citizen. What do we
think about that? Being that we only have one system to explore, right? I feel like they could add missions in which, you know, you would have to scan and find things instant. And I don't think that would be that difficult to put those mechanics in now. Like, I really don't. Why don't we have that yet? Like, why don't we have that yet?
It comes down to groups of players taking out ships and vehicles and messing around within the boundaries of the game world.
He's like his father.
For a lot of people, it's something that works very well indeed. When it comes to core gameplay activity, though, it's a very different story. Even more there's a lot of extreme limitations. That's not to say there isn't any gameplay. It's more to say it's not fully fleshed out and not fully developed. And yes, much of this will come down to the game's current alpha state, so it's very important you keep that in mind. Nonetheless, after many years of development, there's still some bit too many limitations here. Now there is a range of missions you can undertake. There's also mining activity you can also participate in. Missions range from courier jobs to combat activity. If you pick up a courier mission, you'll be hand-delivering a parcel from A to B using your ship as a taxi. Meanwhile, if you undertake combat activity, these come in two distinct forms: space-based combat and ground-based combat. The ground combat, in my opinion at least, tends to be not very good. The ship combat, on the other hand, is pretty decent.
Did he just say the ground combat is not very good? Dude, we gotta you know what? Because it's a solo thing. Like, it's playing the NPC missions that he's accustomed to, but like the PvP is pretty fun, man. Like the PvP ground combat can be absolutely fun. We see it on Citizen Kate's channel all the time. So, you know, in the format in which Obsidian Ant is playing in, he's doing that NPC ground shit, the bunkers, and he's not having a great time because the AI is not the best. And so, but in regards to ground combat with PvP and tonks and ballistas, you know, surface to air, it's actually quite fun, in my opinion. That's just, you know, based upon like my PvP background.
How much enjoyment you get from each of these, though, will likely depend upon the quality of your equipment. The better your ship, for example, the better the activity can sometimes feel. Regardless of this, though, ultimately gameplay within Star Citizen is serviceable at best. For the most part, it achieves what it sets out to achieve, but there's often problems along the way. Ultimately, it's impossible to talk about Star Citizen's gameplay, or indeed any aspect of Star Citizen, without also talking about updates, and this perhaps is the most controversial point of this particular video. The updates for Star Citizen are in a very odd place compared to any other game. This comes down to the fact that the title is crowdfunded as well as still in alpha access. To be perfectly fair to CIG, they do regularly update the game. There is, after all, frequent multiple patches per year which build upon the game's foundation as well as deliver new content. Arguably, though, the scope of these patches has decreased over time. And it seems more than possible the reason for that is due to CIG spending an increasing amount of their resources on the single-player title Squadron 42. Yet it's often said that anything developed for Squadron 42 will ultimately benefit Star Citizen. The downside is that benefit isn't immediate. Even with that in mind, however, the scope of the work on Star Citizen...
I don't know, it seems pretty immediate to me lately. I mean, this year we were sold on this fucking lie, like the fact that you know, Cloud Imperium is focusing on Squadron 42 would mean that there would be no progress in the PU at all, and that's not true at all. I mean, like, look at the AI that we slid over, the AI improvements. Look at the mining gadgets. Look at refueling. Look at all the new game mechanics coming over because the focus is on Squadron 42. So, you know, I would say those benefits happen pretty quickly based upon the focus in Squadron 42. Personally, that's my take.
Citizen is often considered to be immense, and there's perhaps no better visual example of that than the game's ship designs. This is easily one area where Star Citizen outshines any other space game. The quality of the ships here on offer is exceptional, both in terms of aesthetics, exterior and interior.
Exceptional.
The attention to detail to even the smallest of ships is completely unrivaled. There's nothing else out there.
There we go. Unrivaled is a better word. Good job, Obsidian.
If you want an even remotely parallel example, you have to leave the space game genre and start looking at the flight sim genre. Only here do you find other aircraft that perhaps rival or even exceed the design of those in Star Citizen. Check out DCS World, for example, and here you will find planes priced up to £65, with a total DLC value of around about £2,400. In the flight sim arena then, it's quite common to pay up to $150 for a single plane, and these are often lovingly created and exceptionally detailed, modelling their real-world counterparts. Planes from flight sims then are perhaps the closest analogue to Star Citizen ships. However, Star Citizen ships are a different kettle of fish, simply due to their pricing. Some people will tell you the game shouldn't be judged by this, but it's impossible
and we've
to talk
actually
about
got
the
a VR tutorial on the channel on DG360 right now if you want to hop in and get a VR experience with Star Citizen right now.
The ships on offer is undeniably
check it out.
Great.
Pretty cool.
It's fortunate then that the ships also handle well. The flight model within Star Citizen is well thought out, with different ways to fly each particular ship. The ships feel suitably weighty or suitably light, depending on the type of ship you're going for. Some of them are very fast and very manoeuvrable, others are slow and weighty. Either way, there's a sense of mass and a sense of velocity. The flight mechanics of any space game then are very, very
sense
important,
of mass and a
here,
sense of
Star
velocity
Citizen hits more often than it misses. So, whilst the title doesn't have the best flight model in the space sim arena, it's very, very close. To sum up then, where does Star Citizen stand with the 5 key components of a quality space game? Its game world is unrivaled. There's nothing out there like it in the space game arena, and perhaps there's nothing else like it even beyond that. It's clear it's lovingly created, and the attention to detail is second to none. If you're the type of player that just likes to pick up a ship and chill out flying about, or even walking around the surface of planets, then Star Citizen is a very, very good title to pick up. Beyond that, the game world serves as the perfect backdrop to the day-to-day activity. Although that said, some people may find the extensive train rides and travel times around space a little bit on the tedious side. Nonetheless, when it comes to the game world specifically, in my opinion at least, the world of Star Citizen is exactly what a space game should be. Unfortunately, for now at least, this doesn't extend to the gameplay. Now, this isn't because the gameplay
fair.
is fundamentally bad, it's actually pretty good. It's rather that it's
That's
extremely
fair.
limited, at least
Alright.
for now. Whilst all of this is bolstered by the nature of the game mode itself, and into semi-emergent or sandbox-style gameplay, the style of gameplay that is enjoyed by multiplayer, the same cannot really be said about missions, mining, and other playstyles.
Okay.
Arguably then, how much you enjoyed the gameplay on offer here may well depend upon whether you play in groups
Obsidian.
or whether you play
We
solo.
know you love your voice.
All that
the
said,
sound
due
of
to the
it.
nature of Star Citizen's alpha
We all do
access,
too.
well, it means
Very
this can't be
ASMR
a
like.
full-on
Let's get to the
criticism.
next one. Come
It
on,
means
Obsidian.
that ultimately
Obsidian.
there will be time
Quit
to
falling in
improve
love.
this, assuming
Obsidian.
CIG follow that.
Obsidian, quit falling in love with your own voice. I know you're hypnotizing. I know you love listening to yourself. I know you talk to yourself in front of a mirror. I know what you do. Look at it's happening to all of us right now. But get to the next one. Get to the next.
That. But now then, this can't be a cross. Instead, it's
I'm
going
offended.
to be
Two Obsidian Ant
advisory,
fans
not ideal
who just
and
left the
not
chat.
fundamentally broken either.
That's
Pretty
too
much
bad.
the same can be said about
Welcome
the
to
game's
DG360.
updates. Now, due to the
Prepare to
fact
be
of
offended.
Star Citizen still be an alpha, it of course needs to have regular updates, so it's hard to use these as a yardstick as a measure for the title's quality. What I mean by that is fully released games get updates as content expansions, basically get brand new content. Star Citizen, on the other hand, needs these updates to
that'd
actually
be
get
great.
it towards
That'd be
being a
great,
fully
Warhead.
released game, so
I love that.
it's very hard to use updates as a measurement of whether or not this game qualifies. So again, right here, can't be a tick, can't be a
I
cross.
mean, Soriel has wonderful, like just watching Soriel's content in terms of like the Mongrels, by the way, for people not familiar with what Warhead is saying, who's also part of the Mongrels. Soriel makes great content on the Mongrels YouTube channel. And in essence, just watching their videos, it's like watching pirate tutorials. Like every video is like watching a pirate tutorial. Not even just a pirate tutorial, like a PvP tutorial. It's wonderful. Plug to my boys in Mongrel.
Boss has to be an advisory, at least until the game gets its full release. Now, of course, the one thing that Star Citizen is famous for is its spaceships, and deservedly so. As I've mentioned early on, the spaceships here are of exceptional quality, and I genuinely believe they
my
have
girlfriend's
an almost
calling. Hold
universal
on.
appeal. Whether you come to the
Hold on. Let's share this right now. Honey, I am live on stream right now. You probably don't want to say anything sexual. Just letting you know.
Oh, because I wasn't planning, but all right.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping that you would and that I would end the stream, but that's okay. I guess I can wait until I'm done streaming.
All right. Well, I was actually calling to ask you a question, but I will ask it to you later. I need your expertise.
Oh, was it a sexual question?
No, not there either.
Okay, well then I can't answer it for you.
It was a math question.
Oh, I definitely can't answer a math question. Are you insane? Everybody knows I'm terrible with math.
Shut up. You are good with math. You always do.
No, everybody thinks I'm stupid on YouTube. They all think I'm very dumb, and they don't think I have intelligence on YouTube.
Well, when it comes to stock and crypto and things like that and helping me figure out my percentages and amounts and blah, 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 you are very good at.
Wow. Am I getting a compliment from you?
Listen, I compliment you. Don't make me out to be the bad guy to everybody.
No, I feel like you complimenting me is a little bit sexual.
Oh dear God, somebody.
All right, honey. I will
I love you.
call you after this stream has concluded. Pepe has been very difficult with me today. Just want you to know. Pepe is not a good employee today. He drank himself to oblivion on Cinco de Mayo yesterday. And so the show has had many technical difficulties. So, all right, honey, I will talk to you after this stream.
Sounds good. Call me when you get a chance.
Okay. All right, honey. Bye-bye. All right. As I do, I always share my life with you guys. I know a lot of other streamers don't like to do that. I do. I like to share all my intimate moments. I'm going to, we have this thing where we're going to raise money for a stick cam for the stream, but I was thinking perhaps, have a bed cam as well. I think that would be very interesting for our VIP members, just to have some type of a bed cam, if you will.
game for immersion, exploration, combat, or indeed anything
All right,
else.
Obsidian, what is this?
Spaceships are a huge central focus. In other words, I think this is one case where we can say something is good, both subjectively and objectively. Now, there are going to be some arguments here, some debate over the funding model for the spaceships, But for now, for the purposes of this video,
Okay,
at least,
Obsidian,
that is
tell us
entirely
what you
separate to the
think.
quality
Is
of
it
the
the
ships
best
themselves. So
game
yes,
ever?
very much the ships here are some of the best, pretty much the best you're ever going to find in any space game. Fortunately, this quality also extends to the game's flight model. Now, CIG seem to have gone out their way to find a flight model that works both for...
Listen, the flight model is okay. You know, it's not where it needs to be yet. So I actually disagree with him on this one.
Casual players as well as hardcore players. Something
I would go game world, great. Gameplay, I agree with them. So game world, I agree. Gameplay, I agree. Updates, I do not agree. Updates, I think, you know, we get updates all the fucking time. You know, they might not be the updates you want, but the updates happen all the time. So I disagree with him on updates, and I disagree with him on flight model. I would swap the two.
that is often very much missing from many games.
Absolutely,
it's
Tech.
a hard thing to achieve to please both crowds. Essentially, whether you're a casual pilot and just want to get in a ship and go, you should be able to do this. Or if you're a hardcore pilot and want to keep perfecting your skills, you should also be able to do that. So this then is another area where Star Citizen actually succeeds. To wrap up then, Star Citizen is a very difficult game to recommend as a potential candidate for the best.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. This is such bullshit, man. You put the carrot in front of me the entire video, and this is the fucking, you put the little fucking asterisks down here with this shit. Come on, Obsidian. You didn't give us a definitive answer. This is such bullshit. I can't even watch this anymore. Back to the show. God damn it, Obsidian. What did you do? You bait and switched me, man. You fucking clickbaited me.